As you come to your comfortable seat, oh, I have doggy dirt all over my pants, so I'm just noticing too. That's okay too. So as you come to your comfortable seat, one of the things that I've realized over the past couple of days of a little bit more chilly weather is that energy, the state of mind, the state of the body is very much affected by what the weather is, what the temperature is. And so I know my tendency when it gets cold for a few more days is to not want to move. And so I try to avoid it in some ways. And then I get to recognize where it is that means that I can balance myself out and help that energy get moving and come to a more harmonious place for myself. So as you find your comfortable seat, you get to tune into this energy. The gunas. Tamas is that dull, still, inert energy. And rajas is that excited, mobile energy. With your eyes closed, just take a moment to notice for yourself. And again, this is always that time to notice without any judgment, to just take in the details, take in what's going on in the mind and the body. And let your breath get a little deeper, more full. As you let yourself sit a little taller and root a little bit more through your sitting bones, through your legs. Let your breath move from your low belly all the way up to your upper palate as you inhale. And then all the way from your upper palate down to your low belly as you exhale. Then bring hands to connect at heart center and gently press your palms together. Lift your heart up a little higher. On your exhale, bow toward your heart. And softly open your eyes, release your hands down, start to lift up through the back of your neck, lift up through the crown of your head, and then just take a moment to shift and move. Notice through your body what is showing up here for body sensation, what's showing up here for thoughts in the mind. Then as you lengthen up through the crown of your head, take your right ear over to your right shoulder. And now we're going to take our left arm up and over. I have my palm turned out, up and overhead, and then all the way back to the floor or your seat behind you. Opening up a little bit more through that left shoulder. Tuck your chin slightly down in towards your chest. And then come back to center, sit tall, take left ear over to your left shoulder. And then right hand, palm is facing away if that feels comfortable. And then rotate arm up and around to take a hold of your seat behind you, of the floor behind you, wherever that happens to be. And then tuck your chin slightly down. Then inhale back to center. Hands work out to your knees. On your exhale, as you take a little spinal twist to the left, your right shoulder is forward, your left shoulder is back. Take an inhale and lengthen through both sides. Exhale, draw your ribs in to help you twist a little bit further. Put both shoulder blades on your back. Notice that right one and how much it wants to pop to the left. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, take that twist across to the right side rather. Left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Inhale longer through your sides. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. the left shoulder blade further onto your back. Inhale back to center. And this time, exhale, reach all the way across if that's in your practice with your right hand to your left knee or thigh, or you can stay more gentle like the twist we just did. Inhale, longer through your sides. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Shoulder blades are engaging. Your head is back in space. Take one more big breath. Inhale back to center. And exhale, take that twist across to the right side. Again, you can choose how deep that twist is. Inhale longer through your sides. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Both shoulder blades are on your back. And move your head back in space. Notice that little inward draw of your chin. Inhale back into center. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can switch that. And then shift your sitting bones. Move them back and broad. And now fingertips walk to the floor in front of you. And we're going to do a little twisting from here with a little bit of a hinge of the hips forward. So now left hand comes to the floor or a block in front of your left knee. Right hand to your hip. As you take that twist to the right side, put both shoulder blades on your back. And even think about letting your chest lean back a little ways. Your head might lean back a little ways. If it feels comfortable, you might reach the right arm up and over your ear. Take a big deep breath. As you inhale now, lengthen through both sides. And then use your ribs drawing in on the exhale to help you twist just a little bit more. Inhale upright. And then we're walking our hands that little bit forward so that your right fingertips can come right in front of your right leg. Left hand to your hip as you start to turn your belly and your heart more to the left. Put both shoulder blades on your back. Think of that little tilt of your belly forward, so that anterior tilt of the pelvis. Take an inhale longer through your spine. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist a little bit more. Your chest is moving a little bit back. Maybe reach that left arm up and over the ear. Take a big deep breath. Inhale upright, and we have our hands walking out to our knees. And now move through a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Let that spinal clearing happen, meaning that we're not necessarily going to the deepest place we've ever gone in our cat and cow, but think of some gentleness. Inhale, belly and heart forward. Exhale, press the spine back. As you move gently, try noticing what's happening in your body for energy, maybe what's going on in your mind as you move here with your breath. One more big breath. Then inhaling, sit tall. We're going to come forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we're shifting hips back toward our heels, coming into this child's pose. And as you come into your child's pose, remember that you might be up a little ways with your hips, if that feels best on the low back, the knees, the hips. Now, as you let yourself settle, allow some movement. Maybe that's across the forehead or shifting through the hips or the arms. But find a little bit more space. And then let your breath get even longer, slower, deeper. And now we're inhaling to rise to hands and knees. And from hands and knees, our tabletop position, you're setting yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to do a couple of things from our hands and knees before we get more into the hips. So first, with a steady push of your hands into the ground. Think of letting that space between your shoulder blades pop up. Sway your hips side to side. And as you sway your side to side, notice that outside edge of your legs or whatever else is showing up in your body. For me, this tends to get a little stretch into around the SI joint, around the glutes. IT band sometimes gets a little stretched if I go far enough with my hips toward the ground. So you get to play around with what feels the best in your body. And just allowing whatever sensation is happening to happen. One more time on each side. And now as you come back up to center, reset yourself. Now we're going to get a little bit into the backs of the legs. I'll turn sideways to hopefully give you a better visual. So now reach back with the right leg, toes tucked under, and you're pressing with your hands to help reach a little further through the heel. And then releasing the knee back to the ground, stretch back with the left leg, press, find that length through the back of the leg. And then release the left knee back to the ground, stretch back with the right leg again, press. Hold that press, and this time slightly lift your right hip up. As you lift your right hip up, slightly move your right armpit forward. And then set the right knee back down, stretch back with the left leg, and press. Lift up with the left hip slightly, forward with the left armpit. Full big deep breath. And then back to the ground with both knees. Let's settle hips back toward our heels, turning palms up to give the wrists a little bit of a break now. And take a couple of big breaths. You might even choose to do some wrist rotations. You might choose to clasp your hands and do a little figure 8 movement. And now we'll get a little bit more into the hips. So as you rise to your hands and your knees, blocks handy is always a nice thing to do for yourself. Find that place of stacking wrists, under shoulders, knees, under hips. Find the rotation of elbow pits forward and push. Now, inhale, reach back with your right leg, turn open with your hip, turning the toes to face the right side. As you stay pressing through your hands, strong and expanded through the upper back. And now step right foot forward in between your hands, and here's where you might choose to take some locks. You might not, entirely up to you. But we're tucking the left toes under and inching the left knee back to help your thigh bone work back a little ways, to help the quads get a little more stretch. Take a full big deep breath. And now you're welcome to keep your hands on blocks or the floor, but we're going to switch. So step right knee back, left foot forward, and pause to work your right knee further back. And take a big breath, extending further forward with your heart. And then stepping left knee back and right foot forward. Again, work your left knee further back. Work your hands to the inside. Heel toe your front foot just slightly open, so you have a little angle with the right knee and toes. And then you have an angle with your heart extending in that diagonal a little bit to the left. From there, if you want, you can work down toward one elbow, maybe two, coming into this lizard pose variation. Notice the big toe on your front foot and give it a push into the ground. And then wrap back with your right hip. Push down with your left knee, finding a little lift through your left hip. Take 2 more full breaths right here, and then we're gonna add one more bit of detail. And now your option here is to stay right where you are, or we're gonna reach the right hand in a diagonal to the left side. And I'm pressing with my left elbow to help lift my ribs and turn my belly just a little bit more to the left. That length from the right arm all the way through the side of the back. Take a big breath into the space, into whatever stretch is showing up for you. I'm getting a good stretch into my lats here, but it might be different for you. Take another full breath. And then working back with both hands, heel toe your foot back in the center. And then we're stepping back, right knee back, left foot forward. Inching your right knee further back. We're walking hands to the inside and doing a slight opening with that left leg. Thinking of that direction of the knee and toes being the same angle. And now from that place, as you extend your heart further forward, maybe you're working down to one elbow, maybe two. Take a big breath. As you find that place for yourself, check in with your big toe. Give it a little push. And then that left glute, wrap it back and down. Push down with your right knee. Allow that lift through the upper thigh, right up at the hip crease. As you extend your heart forward, take 2 more big breaths right here. And now we're staying pushing with that right arm. Push down with your elbow if it's down, push down with your hand if it's down. If you want, you can reach in that diagonal with your left arm. As you reach, stay pushing to allow the ribs to lift. Take a big deep breath. And then work back to your hands. Settle yourself back to that hands and knees place as you shift your hips back toward your heels. One last time, if you would like, you can grab your bolster for in between your legs and under your torso for your more restorative variation of child's pose. Child's pose is already pretty restorative, but we can make it more so. I'm even going to add a little bit of lift for my bolster with a blanket underneath. And then as you come to settle, rest in your chest, rest in your head. You're welcome to turn your head to one side if you would like. Take a few moments. Full deep inhales and exhales to let yourself settle. And notice if there's anything else that you need here. If you have your head turned to one side, feel free to turn it the other way if that feels okay. 3 more full breaths right here. And now you're using your hands to help you to rise back up to your seat. And we're gonna come all the way down to our sitting bones, extend legs out in front, and we're gonna take a variation of our forward fold that's a little bit more restorative. So you have your choice. You can add a pillow or bolster underneath your legs with your legs a little bit wide, or you can add that pillow or bolster over more narrow legs here for something for your belly to come to rest against. Okay, so whichever one feels best to you, press down with fingertips behind you, and you can reach back and move one sitting bone back and broad, and then the other one back and broad. And then as you find lots of lift and length, start to fold over your legs, over your bolster, whatever variation of propping you might have. I just added a little bit of extra propping over my bolster so that my head can rest. If you have a prop underneath your legs, then it's nice sometimes just to let your elbows come to your thighs, or elbows down onto the bolster, or maybe hold on to your feet. Take a moment to find what's right for you there. We have about 3 more big breaths right here. And then we're using our hands for support to lift our torso back upright. Footprints to the ground as you set your prop aside, or set your prop aside first, whichever order you need to go in. And then we're coming all the way down onto our backs. So with bent knees, footprints to the floor. Support yourself to lay all the way down. And then from that place, we'll do a little bit of gut squishing just to aid in a little bit of digestion. And as you draw your right knee in towards your chest and extend your left leg all the way out against the ground, use your exhale to draw your knee a little further in. Inhale to switch sides. Exhale to do a little bit of compression. Inhale to switch sides. And exhale to compress. Just take a couple more on each side, letting your breath be slow, long, and deep. And letting yourself sense whatever those sensations are, or whatever thoughts come to your mind. And then as you're ready to, you can set both feet on the ground. Drop your knees in together to touch. We're taking hands to our upper thighs, right up at the hip crease, and giving a push with our palms onto the upper thigh. Try to push your thigh bones away from you a little ways so that your tailbone might tilt down versus tucking. Sitting bones down so your low back has a little bit of lift. And then simply add a little bit of movement here through your pelvis. I've got a little pivot that I'm doing. You can also just do a little gentle tuck up and down with your tailbone if you want. Find that movement with the pelvis to maybe unstick some stuff that might be tricky. And now releasing the hands, draw your knees both back up in towards your chest and take them a little wide. And from this place, pull them in and then release them a couple of times. Pull them in and release. Pull them in and release. And now open the knees even wider, hands on the insides of your knees to help them gently open, not a force. And then aim your feet toward the ceiling, and from there you can take your hands around the back sides of your thighs, outsides of shins or outsides of feet, wherever it's easiest for you to keep your sitting bones aiming down. And then feel free as you add a gentle rock side to side to also add a little reach through one leg and then the other leg, adding one more hamstring stretch here. Or if you'd rather keep knees bent for that rock, you can. And now releasing your legs, setting footprints on the ground. Start to find your favorite version of a resting pose right now. Finding your Shavasana. Rock yourself in any way that feels good. Honor what's going on in your body right now. Bring some awareness back to your breath. And as you gently bring some movement into your body, think about moving in any way that feels good. Notice. Notice the general energy inside. then when you're ready to, you can bend your knees and roll to your side. And then use your arms to help you slowly, gently bring yourself back up to your seat. Hands coming together at heart center. Without any judgment, just take that time to notice. What's the energy? What are the thoughts? What's present for you today? Honor that place where you are. And bringing your hands to your third eye, your intuition center. And then back to your heart, your compassion center. And bow towards your heart. Have a beautiful, peaceful day. Namaste.